talk about math. She would make us do math problems. Don't invite her.
Right? I know every time I go out to dinner with math.
Okay.
They expect you to do it in your head too. You're like, what's the
Right. So today I'm going to do a quick one on fraction decimals. Then I'll give you some time to do the booklet that day because not all of us got to try it. So I'll put it for arrange some time for us to be able to do the booklet. Now, because next Thursday and Friday we are having the P4 camp, so part of our lesson time is affected. If you want to do your work diligently, then I will say we'll be able to enjoy our P4 camp entirely. If you are not able to keep up with your work, then it won't be so enjoyable. Yes. Friday, volleyball competition, is it? What time is it? Have you told Mr. Chen about it? No, okay, never mind. I'll ask Mr. Chen whether he has informed everybody. Yes. Yeah, so I'm going to go through it now. A quick one first, fractions to decimal. Now, before I carry on, I share with you as well. There will be two versions of today's lesson that I'll be uploading. The first version is a very quick one. It's a recap that I did with my P5 student. It goes through conversion of fractions to decimals to fraction in two ways in less than half an hour. So for those of us who want a quick recap, it goes like the speed of a lot faster than what I do with you, what I intend to do with you now. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. So if you want to take a quick look at this, it will be this one. But on this worksheet, I show two different versions, including the division method. Now, yes, but I have not taught you the division method first. The problem with the division method is some of you know the method, you know who teach you, but you may not understand what's going on. If you can explain why that person teach you, so and so teach you the division method, and you can explain how it works, then it will be very good for you. However, if you are not able to explain it, you can only do the working, then you got to be careful, go and ask why it works, so that it can help you to understand and remember better. Otherwise, you may end up getting confused. Okay, so this one goes, and then there's the next page as well, going in a much faster speed. And there's a bit of P5 materials here. So for those of you who are wanting to see. Okay. Right. Okay. For those of us who need help, I'm going to go through this one right now. If you are done it and you think it was relatively easy, that's good for you. Then what you need to do is to give yourself a baby tick or baby cross at the end of it. Okay? Yes, you need to do it, especially when you're primary 4. Because the marking scheme will be different. And obviously, Howran, I've been repeating multiple times about you not being the most careful person. If the thing is, all right, if you can correct the part about you being careless and just focusing on wanting to get things done, you can do so much better. Okay. Okay, so by now we know certain things. First one is about decimals and fractions. Knowing that the two things I mentioned, the place value. So I have my ones, my tens and ones, the bigger places. Then you have the decimal point, whole numbers. And then you have the decimal or fraction part behind. Tens, hundreds, thousands. And going this way is like times 10, and going this way is like getting smaller. Okay, so this is like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 100, and this 1 out of 1,000. The size of one part of it. And then this goes with 1, and then this is tens. That's how it's different. So you look at each decimal to see whether there is a whole number part, and then whether there is a decimal part. Okay. Test. Okay. And then we talk about this place value system being the denominators of fractions of decimals. When you convert, they are in powers of 10. Okay, I'm looking at this page 45. Page 40, this is page 45, 45. Okay. So, like for example, this one. The first thing so far we have learned, my trick that I told you is, whenever you see there's one place value after the decimal point. So after decimal point, one place value means that at the fraction bar, the denominator, you have one space after the tens. After the 1, meaning you are at the 10th place. So one decimal place, one place as the denominator here. So you're looking at tens. So 9 tenths. And then here, 2 decimal places after the decimal point. So in your fraction, after 1, you have 2 spaces. 2 spaces actually make 100 as a denominator. This is page 45. Write with some energy in your hands, please. I think write with some energy in your focus. Hold the pencil with might. Okay? And then you put the 19 on the as a numerator. And then here, this is 0 point something, 0 point something, 0 point something. That means there's no whole number parts, just decimal parts. So over here, one space after the decimal point means it's in the tens place. So you have 4 tenths. 2 places after the decimal point, that means it goes up to the hundredths place. So ones, tenths, hundredths. Up to the 100th place means fraction bar, and then you have 2 places, 100, and you have 35. So far, so good? Yeah, I know you're going to say something, right? You hold on first. I got this idea of what you want to say. But let's our friends get this digested first. Put that aside. Yeah, focus on what I'm asking you to do now. Yes, you want to say? Sorry? Thank you very much. So I will say up to here, I'm only at the first step. There's actually a second step that needs to be done. The simplest form. Express the decimal as a fraction is the simplest form. So now it's not in simplest form. Then I need to see whether I can change it to the simplest form. Now, one of the easiest trick to help you in simplest form with regards to decimal is that remember the factors of a power of 10. So 10 is 1 and 10, 2 and 5. These are the factors of 10. And then if you have 100, the factors of 100 will be 1 and 100, 2 and 50, 3 cannot, 4 and 25, 5 and 20, 6, 7, 8, or 9, or cannot, 10 and 10. So these are factors of 100. If you can remember this, simplifying is very easy. If you can remember the factors of the powers of 10. Remembering 10 and 100 will be more or less able to help you to simplify all decimal fractions. Okay? Because all the denominators are either 10, 100, or 1,000, or 10,000, 100,000, so on and so forth. So if you can remember the factors of 10, you'll be able to simplify a lot of fractions. Copy it down, okay? The factors of 10 and 100. So I can divide the denominator of this, but 9 cannot. So I just have to look here. Can 9 be divided by 2? Cannot. Can 9 divided by 5? Cannot. So already in simplest form. Then D. 19 also odd number, cannot be divided by any of these. So as it is, also in simplest form. Then this one can divide by 2. Yes. So I think this one I must write it in a manner that can help you to remember. Now, I must say, when you're doing simplification of fractions, you must write it in both the numerator is dividing by 2, and the denominator is you're dividing the denominator by 2 as well. You're dividing both the numerator and the denominator by the same factor. How long can you explain why this is not correct? What do you think is the answer for this? Sorry? The entirety is divided by 2. What do you think it would be the answer? No? You sure? Ah, yes, you're right, actually. 2 out of 10. Which is it the same as this? No. How do you get 2 out of 10? That's correct. Because you're chopping, if you're looking at 4 out of 10 divided by 2, you're actually chopping this into 2 parts. So you end up becoming a multiplication of half. Okay, I'm only explaining to some of you to understand now. Will actually get you to 4 to 20. So 2 out of 10. Okay, which actually is 1/5. Okay, this one confusing, don't explain too much. But this one will be different. When I divide the numerator by 2 and I divide the denominator by 2, it actually meant that I'm just dividing by 1. Because 2 out of 2 is 1. Can you understand what I'm talking about? So actually, it's 4/10 is equal to 2/5. It's equivalent to 2/5. Okay, it's equal to 2/5 because I just divide by 1 only. But why is it simplifying? Because I'm changing the numerator and denominator by the same factor of 2. So those of you who don't remember simplifying fractions, this is one thing that we need to revise on. Then here, divide by 5, divide by 5, 7 out of 20. Okay? Hello. Okay, then the next part here. The whole number, now you see, so far 0 point something, 0 point something, 0 point something, means that you don't have a whole number part, you only have a decimal part. Okay, now looking at the bottoms here, 1.2, 2.25, 3.5, 4.06 means that all these can be either mixed number or improper fraction because it's more than a whole number. Okay, it has wholes now. So now you have a whole as also as a fraction part. Okay, and the fraction part, just do it the same as what you've been doing. Number of place, and then 2/10. And simplify. Keep the whole number as it is. So you have 2 wholes, 2 spaces after the decimal point. So 2 spaces after decimal point. Numerator is 25. Simplify. 2 and 5 with C and divide by 5 again. 2 and 1/4. Okay. So okay. And the last one here, keep the normal number as 3. 1 decimal place, so 10. 5/10. Divide by 5, divide by 5, divide by denominator, 3.5. And the last one here, we have whole number 4, 2 spaces, 100. And then you have 6. Divide by 2, divide by 2, the numerator and denominator. Then get answer 4 and something. So that's up. Okay? 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 The 2 hands are not on the table, so I don't show what you do. Nigel? So that's up. Okay. Then I go backwards a bit. 43, I went through, I was your password yesterday. Okay, I went through this on the video. You go back and check on the video. I will skip to 44 backwards. Have you done your work? It was password yesterday, 43 and 44. And homework if you haven't done it. 43 and 44. You really have to do your work. You cannot keep doing this, not doing your work, then the work will start accumulating. Get more and more and more and more. You're really not be able to enjoy your activities if you have your work at the back of your head. I did not finish. So start getting your work completed one by one. Okay? 44. Convert each mixed number to a decimal. Okay? 44. So I have a whole number part, keep it as it is. Now I need to change this into a base of either a denominator either of 10 or 100 or 1000. Yes. So it's either out of 10, out of 100, or out of 1000. Okay, so 3 and 3/5. First one, try 10. Cannot try 100. Okay, so whole number as it is, whole number. Now, one decimal place, one decimal case. Numerator 3.6. So you can take the fraction bar like it is a decimal point that separates the whole number and its decimal part and its fractional part. This okay? Can? Can, and then this one here. So this one I will show you already. Well, if you are familiar with the factors of 100, you're able to do this really quickly. Times 25, times 25, 4 and 25 out of 100. So I get 4 as a whole number, decimal place, 2 decimal places, 4.25. And then this one here, times 2, 1 and 100, 1 and 18 over 100. Keep the whole number itself, decimal point, 2 decimal places, 1 and 1.18. Okay, so 43, 44, 45. I did 45 with you. Now your homework up to page 46. Do your working to help you. This one, if you practice, you will be able to solve it. Now, I'm going to tell you right away that your homework is okay, let me just check. Okay, Ken, so your homework 43, 44, 43, 44, 45, 46. Okay, Ken? Ken, circle 46. Is that okay? Now I'm 47. "47 says here, which of the following number is? It says here it is for renaming thousands to hundreds. Which of the following number is can be exchanged for 20, 0.001 number is? So in other words, it's actually saying that when you're looking at 20 pieces of 0.001, it actually means, so 20 pieces of 0.001 is actually referring to 20 thousands. So meaning at the place value of 1, at tens, ones, 100, tens, hundreds, and thousands. At this place here, there are 20 of them. Which number these can I use to replace this combination? Sanford, you want to suggest something? Okay, let me clear this. If you look at the place value map here, so I have the decimal point here. 1,000, 100, tens and ones, tens, hundred, thousands, 10,000s. What is it saying here? It's saying that at this point, there are 20,000s. But at any place value, any place, can I have 2 digits? Cannot. I can only have 1 digit. So what must I do? I have to regroup. So if I regroup, let's say I have 1. So if it's I1, so I have 0.001. I count 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, all the way to 0.9. The next one will be 0.0. Really? 0.001, 0.002, 0.003, 0.004, 0.005, 0.006, 0.007, 0.008, 0.009. Next one. 0.01. It's not 0.010. Hang on. It becomes 0.01 because what happened? I actually had 10 of this 0.001. It actually became 0.01. Can you understand? Okay, so the regrouping happens here. What about if I have 20 then? So if it's 20, it'll be, okay, I have 0.019, 0.11, 0.012, 0.013, 0.014, 0.015, 0.016, 0.017, 0.018, 0.019. Can you understand? Right? Okay. So in other words, if I have 20,000, what is that actually? So if I have 20,000, actually, because I know that 10,000 actually mean 100. It's the same as saying, if I have $1, that will be 10 of 10 cents. 10 10-cent coins. The same idea when I'm grouping. So like over here, this means like, it's like this is like the idea of it. Okay, but this is 2 different place value. This is the ones place and this is the tens place. But the idea is there. So I'm converting the places. So because 10,000 is 100, I have 20,000. What would that mean? Yeah, I actually have 200s. Which simply means I can have 2 of 0.01. So in other words, I can have the number 0.02. It can be represented by either 20 number pieces of 0.001 or 2 pieces of 0.01. Okay? This is page 47. Okay, last one. Last one, 48, 49. I go through 48, 49, homework 50. Next week, we'll finish 4 operations of decimals. Okay? We'll finish 4 operations of decimals before we start, before you go for your P4 camp and National Day. Okay? Then when we're done with National Day, we'll deal with the word problems and you're ready for your test, more or less. Okay? So page 50 is homework. Okay? I'm on page 48 now. After I talk to you about 48, we'll be doing booklet for the rest of the time. Okay? All right? Which we have a good, I think, about half an hour on it. We can spend 15 minutes a time on booklet and 15 minutes on that voice, if you like. All right? How? Is it okay, everybody? So you got to be diligent with your homework. 46, 43 to 46, until page 50. Page 50 you do by yourself. This question is about rounding. I taught you about this already. I need to know how you can explain for yourself. Okay? Right. Okay. Last question. I'm going to go through this one. Four numbers with 3 decimal places that give 3 when rounded to the nearest whole number. That is a problem-solving question. When you see questions like that, that is worth about 3 to 4 marks. It says here 4 numbers with 3 decimal places that give the number 3 when rounded to the nearest whole number. See, lots of information there. So the first part here tells you the rules. Rule number 1. It must be 3 decimal places. Rule number 2. When I round the nearest whole number, the answer is 3. This is rule number 2. When you play game, there's a rule to follow. This is rule number 2. Rule number 3 is here. For each number that you are forming, you can only use the following digits. Once only. 1, 2, 5, and 6. This is rule number 3. 3 rules for this game. Form numbers. That's what you're doing. Make up numbers. That's the job. What are the rules for the job? Number 1, it must be 3 decimal places. Number 2, you round it to the nearest whole number. The answer is 3. Number 4. Number 3, I can only use these 4 digits to form the number. Each digit can only use 1. Only can use once. Now, here comes the thinking part. Previously, we already learned listing. Okay, looking at a question like that, it is quite straightforward. Can you use model drawing to solve it? Can you use model drawing? Can draw model now? How come cannot draw model? Does this question have any characters about comparing bigger and smaller? Nothing like that. Anything that tells you number of parts, number of holes, Also don't have things like that. So it's a quite straightforward in terms of question type, a listing question. Okay, with some rules. Now, which rule is the most important one you think? Very true. The most important rule is rounded to the nearest whole number, give you 3. Why? Because it tells you probably which will be the first digit. Okay, so let's answer the questions here. What does a number with 3 decimal places mean? It means that after the decimal point, 3 places. 10, 100, 1,000. So there's this is what 3 decimal places mean. 3 decimal places means after the decimal point, there are 3 places. Why are there 4 digits given? Because you have a whole number place and then 3 decimal places. Then this question asks, what numbers with 3 decimal places will give 3 when rounded to the nearest whole number? Now, I would say the point of 3, that means that there are some numbers on the number line, they are going towards 3 when they round. It's either round down to 3 or round up to 3. So this whole range of numbers will become 3. That's what it means when you do rounding. What does this tell me by the first digit that you will use? Very good, all right. It means that the first digit must be 2. It cannot be 1 point something something, because no matter how big your 1 point something something, it will never round to 3. Yes, you can only round 2 point something. Yes. So there's 1 point something, 1 point something something, 2 point something something something, 5 point something something something, 6 point something something something. Now looking at this, you understand because of this important rule, this one cannot happen, this one cannot happen, and this one also cannot happen. It cannot be these other choices. So the first digit at the ones place must be 2. Can you understand? So it must be 2 point something something. Okay? Now, with that said, I can have regards to this. So the first rule tells me it must be 2 point something something. It can be 2 point blank blank blank, 2 point blank blank blank, 2 point blank blank blank, 2 point blank blank blank. So rule number 1, 3 decimal places. The one is there. Rule number 2 is round and then you give you 3. Yeah, then I can have 2.156, 2.165, 2.516, 2.561, 2.651, 2.615. So few options here. After I clear rule 1, 3 decimal point, I clear rule 2. Rule 2 tells me it cannot be 1 point something something, cannot be 5 point something something, cannot be 3 point something something. And then the next thing says rule number 2 must be round to 3. which means at the 10th place, because it's 2 point something something, right? So the 10th place must be 5 or more. Round up. Because it's 2 point something something. You need it to round up to 3. So your 2 point something, the 10th place here, must be 5 or more, so that your 2 point something can be rounded up to 3. So cannot be this, cannot be this. It got to be this. Now, have I answered the question? I think I have. Then my next step will be, I got to check. Okay, let's use another method to check. I have my answer ready, I check. So just now I have this whole list. I copy down the whole list on the other side here. I have 2.156, 2.165, 2.516, 2.561, 2.651, 2.615. This was the whole list. The method I can use to check is to do my rounding to nearest whole number. So I'm looking at the tens place to decide what I'm rounding to. So 2.156, I'm rounding to 2 because it's less than 5. 2.165 also round to 2. 2.516 becomes round to 3. 2.561 round to 3. 2.615 round to 3. 2.615 round to 3. So again, I can see that here, these were the answers that when I round to the nearest whole number, it gives me 3. So it's correct, 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 correct. Check if it's the same as the answer here. Yes. Sorry. Doing one thing. Oh. Oh. Okay. Can you stop it for a while? It's disturbing our friends. Cannot help our friends focus. It may help you focus and keep your fingers at ease by disturbing others. Can you stop it for a while, please? Thank you. I think when we are doing booklet later, if you really must, then you can teach it with it. But try to focus on your task. When we do booklet, when the sound is loud, perhaps you will not disturb our friends that much. But now, this question is quite intense. So a lot of our friends are trying their best to focus. Okay, you're not writing it properly. I don't see the effort in you writing. You have to try harder. Because you don't do it right the first time, we have to do it the second time, the third time, fourth time. You understand? So, if you look at this piece of work again, I have already done my read and annotate. Choose a method that's listening here and checking that's E here. R A, C, E by race. Can you understand? Anybody can think of another method to solve this. I welcome to see your answer. Okay. All right. So with this, I've gone through everything. For these questions, they are a little bit more difficult. You have the rest of the works that's left empty. This one, please try on your own. I really want to see what much you understand. Until page 50 as homework. If you're okay, you're comfortable, you can keep your things, write down your homework, and then we move on to our booklet. I think, no, you're not done. This is not complete.